Hey guys, it's David from Facepalm Tactical here. I'm with Noah, the official reviewer here at Facepalm Tactical, and he's going to give you your pro tip.
Alright, so when I see people review these things, they always wind it like this, like after they've already got shells loaded in it. But that's not really the best way to do it. I saw a video of a Marine using one of these things, the real steel, and he stuck his fingers into the little holes and then just turned it. And that's much faster, and I think that that's the way you should do it.
This is the video review of the ICS GLM M203 launcher. Alright, and we're going to do this more like an interview today because this is Noah's gun. He's way more familiar with it. I held it, I fired it, I have my opinion of it, but he's the one with the experience on it. So let's start this off, Noah. I know that you used to have a stock on this. What do you think about that?
Alright.
Let's get that out of the way before we start talking about the gun.
Yeah. The stock, it's cool, and like it had it to where you could lock it in position like this, so you could like get angled shots if you were using a foam football out of like that, but I really don't like it. I think that it's much easier to manipulate like this, and you don't really need a stock because there's no recoil or anything, and shooting a grenade is like throwing a football. Like, it really is instinctive shooting after you get a bit of practice with it, so you don't really need a stock.
Alright, okay, let's see. I tell you what, just sell this gun to me. What would be the top several things that's good about this gun?
Alright, first of all, it's lightweight. It's fully constructed out of plastic, which can be a con, but when you've got 6 of these aluminum shells loaded in there, that's definitely going to give you some more weight, so you don't really want to make this thing out of metal if you can avoid it. And really, this thing isn't the sturdiest thing in the world, but it'll do. And also, the fact that it carries 6 shells means that you're not carrying so many shells like on your belt or on your vest, because these things go for like 60 bucks a pop. So if you've got 6 in here, you're probably only going to have like 4 on your vest or your belt aside from that, and that's if you're like a really serious grenade launcher guy. Like 6 is kind of pushing it, and in fact you could run this thing with less than 6. So basically all your shells are going to be in the launcher. And also, since all your shells are in the launcher, you don't have to reload it like an M203, which means you can basically bunker bust like a 3-story building as fast as you can muzzle load these things into the end of it. Because, I mean, most of these games say that if you land a rocket into a room, everyone in that room is dead. So if you've got your buddy muzzleloading these in the barrel for you, and then you just pop them off into all the windows, you can clear a building like that. And so then you're going to save on a lot of the casualties in room clearing.
Alright, you've got this blue tape on here. Tell me about that.
Alright, so I have this blue tape on here to indicate the one round that I would have loaded with BB shower, because really this thing would be used more to shoot rockets, because you've also got that 15-foot radius. Some people aren't going to call their hit on that, but I mean, it's still worth a shot, especially if they're dug in behind cover. So you have your BB shower shell loaded in here. You clear out a building with the rockets, but then you're going to have to enter yourself to cross through that building, and you're going to want something just in case more people come in. So all you have to do then is push down on this button, and you can manually cycle that over without firing any rounds, which means that you've now got your BB shower shell loaded in, which makes this thing like a massive shotgun. So if you're in a room, you can kill multiple people pretty easily with that.
Alright, now let me see the thing. The thing I noticed that I liked about this just from handling it was when he's talking about changing these shells really quick, each one of these, and I'm sure this comes over from the real steel, each one of these chambers has it's sloped off here, and it's far enough that I think you could do it pretty easy with gloves, but it's not hard to get a grip on the edge of that shell. I've seen some, like this little pistol launcher we have here, that they don't have, the shell's actually recessed in this, and there's no way to grab it, so you have to dump this thing over to get it out. There's no quick loading it and pulling it out, putting it back in your rig, and then putting a new one in. It's not like that. You're just going to throw it in a dump pouch or something, which you may do, but if you don't have one handy, if that's on your loadout, that's just something nice I saw about that. I feel like it's fairly sturdy as well for being constructed out of plastic. Now, Noah, what are the drawbacks to this thing? Why wouldn't I want this or just spend the money on it? Why would I buy something like that pistol over this?
All right. First of all, having a standalone launcher like this is really like, if you actually run this in the field, like in a mil-sim op or something, you're kind of dedicating yourself to it because you don't have the firepower of other people. And you may say, oh, it's a 6-shot grenade launcher. It's the definition of firepower, but it's not, because you don't have a rifle, and a rifle is the most versatile thing ever. Yes, you can clear entire buildings with this thing, and that makes you an asset for your team, but you're kind of going to be vulnerable because, like what I said earlier about switching over to a BB shower shell, if you've already got a football muzzle loaded in here, that means that 1, you're going to mess up your BB dispersal, and 2, if you fire it straight at somebody, you're going to direct impact them with this, and it hurts. Like, I've been shot with it myself, and it feels like you're getting punched, like a serious punch. And so they may go complain to an admin if you direct impact them with this, and then you might get in trouble. So that's one thing is, what was my original point?
The chambers.
Yes, the chambers should be long enough to have footballs loaded in each individual chamber. Also, that's going to keep you from loading big shells in there, because this shell right here takes up this entire chamber. So if you wanted the longer S Thunder shells, or if you wanted like the big 224 rounders, what?
Is it the King Arms one? The really gigantic ones?
No, those are, they make a Mad Bull really gigantic one, and then they make a S Thunder. I don't know if King Arms makes one, but yeah, I mean, they make some really long grenade shells, and you're not going to be able to put those in here. And, okay, also, this thing creaks and wobbles a lot. Like, give me that other shell. Where'd you...
Oh, it's in the launcher. Here. I got it.
This is only half loaded. And this thing makes a lot of noise. It's like a maraca, and it's because it's like, okay, Pro Arms makes a 6-shot revolving grenade launcher also, and theirs is break action. This has a little latch down here, and it's not very sturdy at all. So that's one thing, is the fact that this thing's made out of plastic, and the fact that it's not break action make it kind of flimsy. And, alright. So, okay, you're reducing firepower, your chambers aren't big enough for longer shells or to have footballs loaded in there, you're kind of putting yourself at risk. And another thing is, this barrel, just to show you, I don't know if you can see in there, but it has teeth, like there are ridges running along the edge of this barrel. And the thing about that is, you might think that that would like help make it more accurate or something, but if you shine a light through there, you can see the light going around the edges of the football, and that means that this isn't airtight. So whenever you shoot this, yes, you're going to have enough kick to knock the football out of the barrel, but you are going to lose power as compared to a smooth barrel launcher like one of those M79s or an M203. So,
also, while we're talking about reducing range and everything, with the BB shower shells, I'm going to just explain this because this is what I think is going wrong with it. He gets better range on his BB shower shells out of this little pistol launcher than he does out of that. And he thought it was because of barrel length, and what I've kind of concluded, and he chipped into this too, this is what he agrees with. I'm just going to speak about it anyways. The BB shower shell has an O-ring on it, and it acts kind of like a bucking almost, so when the BBs come forward, that's actually putting a little bit more resistance on the outward side, so it kind of makes them fan out, which is what you want with a shower spread. But with a barrel that long, versus a barrel this long, this shell, I mean, when you put the shell in here, it almost comes to the end of it. There's probably a ½ inch, so the BBs get out immediately. With that, we think that they're expanding and brushing on the sidewalls, or maybe even hitting and redirecting, and that's what's losing some range.
Yeah. Whenever you shoot this thing with one of those BB shower shells in it, you feel like a man. Like, this is like the biggest sawed-off shotgun ever. Whereas this, is it going to work? Sure. Is it going to be as explosive? Is the spread going to be as good? Is it going to get as good a range? No, it's not. And another thing on that note, if you're shooting one of those BB shower shells, you have to pull the trigger and hold it. or else all of the gas won't come out of here whenever it cycles. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things that happens. So with all the good and all the bad, I do love this launcher. It makes you feel like the demo man, so that's pretty awesome. But with all of its fallbacks and all of its perks, I'm going to give it first impression 6 out of 10, because while I have practiced with this launcher, while I have shot it quite a bit, I haven't been able to take it out to a game because I just got these S Thunder shells here recently, like within a month probably. And I must say they're pretty good, but we'll review those at another time.
Alright, let's real quick talk over a few specs. This launcher you got out off Airsoft GF for $120, right?
Yeah.
It's on one of their shocker sales. That's probably the price point you want to buy this launcher at. You wouldn't think spending more than that on it.
No, if you can get it for, like, on sale for about $120, that would be good. But if they want you to pay $200 for this, I'd say get a Thumper, or if you want to go CQC, get one of those Pro Arms launchers, because the barrel is shorter, it's break action, like it's basically made for CQB. You could even shorten the barrel up a little bit if you wanted, and that would make this thing awesome.
And then you're spending, what, 40 to 60 on each shell for quality shells?
Yeah.
You can get cheaper ones nowadays, but we haven't got a hold of any yet. We're looking at getting some. I think you ordered one or two?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you ordered one from EB or something. Anyways, but until we get a hold of one of those, we can't testify to how well those do.
Yeah.
The other thing, what was the other thing? Anything else?
No.
Oh, modifying this thing. That's the one point that you left out. We were talking about this earlier. You can do a lot with this. Like we talked about, he took the stock off of this. You also thought,
if you want to use this thing in CQB and you're definitely not going to muzzle load one of those footballs in there for like a mil sim op, I would say just lop the barrel off right at this little hook that you use to open up the launcher, because basically this barrel is only impeding your shower shell performance.
You could probably hold it on the end like this,
or
just leave it enough to leave the grip.
Would do it if I was just doing shower shells, is hip fire it and hold it by this thing, just because, like, I don't know, I mean, it's really light.
It's like you could get around cover.
It's really light, and you don't have to aim with those shower shells, so you'll be fine.
Alright, well that's the... Oh, one more thing. In the box, this foregrip does come with it, as well as this quick cutie detach point that doesn't come out. There it is. Right?
Yeah.
Alright, okay, and that's the review of the ICS GLM grenade launcher.
So 6 out of 10, and once we do the, we will have a battle tested review of this. It's not going to be action packed, since I'm basically just going to be lobbing rockets into buildings, but if I do bunker bust a whole building, I will post up footage of this, and this thing will probably be getting a higher review at that point.
Alright, thanks for watching.